All right, welcome everyone. A few new faces here this month. Are you right to click as needed? Yeah, it's been a few months, hasn't it? February was our last meeting, so welcome back everyone. Can you just put your hand up if you are here for the first time, please? Excellent. All right, welcome. In the preparations, I haven't been able to make sure everyone signed in. So if you didn't sign in later on, can you just put your name down? And Simone will just check the memberships as well. It's a good catch for us. And where's the tins right there? Excellent. Okay. All right, let's get started. So, oh, look at that. You can nearly see that toilet. Okay, so the toilets are just down the corridor there. And as you might have already been aware, we're doing social distancing. There's plenty of hand sanitizer. All the seats have been cleaned. We'll clean them afterwards. Just keep your distance. Anything else to say, Simone? Social distancing? Yeah. Yeah, elbows, feet, all that type of stuff. Okay. Yep. Okay. The Google group is how we communicate messages for the AEVA Brisbane, or Queensland, my apologies. So if you're a new person, can you speak to Les about adding your email to that list, and when there's events and all that type of stuff, it will, see, I don't want to yell because got to get it. Can you hear me at the back all right, or you can? Okay, plenty of nods, all right. Yeah, so give your details to Les and you can be added and get regular updates about what we're doing, reminders and all that type of stuff. The AEVA website was launched a couple of months ago, and there's the link just there. If you're getting an email to renew your membership, you can do it all through the new website now. It's not that difficult. I did it like in the last month. You just got to get your username and password. I think that's the main hurdle, and then it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so obviously tonight is a bit of an experiment. We haven't done this before, if you hadn't gathered. It's such a well-oiled machine at the moment. However, I do record the videos and they're on my YouTube channel. If you miss any meetings, you can check them out there. I usually cut out some of the stuff so it's just the main points and that type of stuff. We do have some hats over here. How much are they, Simone? I think they're $20 or something like that. Pretty good, and they're a good hat. And with the merchandise, I actually want to get some shirts done up, some new ones. And has anyone done like printing of shirts and stuff like that before? Anyone? Nothing? I've seen a few websites where you just sort of palm it out to the people and just send them their design and you get the shirts. It actually looks like you can get that done for 20, 25 bucks, like delivered. So we might actually try and, like if anyone, I might send out an email, and if people want to do a design on their computer and then email me back, that'll be good. And we'll maybe have a contest to see who can come up with the best design for AEVA Queensland. Then I'll get them done up on some shirts. Do you actually like the dark navy polo with a white logo? Yes. That's pretty good. Yeah. Something bright. Pink. Pink. Okay. I thought you'd want something green. Okay. Tonight's meeting agenda. All right. So we're going to go through just where we're at as a branch, just some of the stats. We're going to cover the Brisbane Av Infrastructure that's come in and in the last few months, and what's happened more broadly statewide. 'We'll just go through some of the events that are coming up they're not all EV events, but they're aligned with like eco stuff and that. Australian electric car availability, that's maybe the next few months. We're going to have a couple of people speak about their projects, and then we're going to have Graham and Nathan speak about a couple of, so Graham's pulled apart a Tesla motor, and we're going to hear about that, and Nathan's going to speak about the idle off program that's happening. Okay, is Peter Roberts here, by the way? Oh, hello, Peter. I'll put you under projects because you're speaking about about your bus concept. Okay.
Don't forget to change. No, I mean, is it not changing the video? Ah, there you go.
What happened there? Was that the whole time?
Yeah, I got stuck.
Okay. All right. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is from about a week ago, 8th of July. This is the Facebook. I know not everyone is on Facebook, but I just wanted to maybe show you guys that as a group on the Queensland branch page is actually growing quite substantially. There was a point there about here that I don't know, Graham probably is the admin as well, accept people into the group, and we were just doing day after day, just accept. And I do a bit of a search to filter out undesirables as well, but everyone, yeah, we're up to 1,059 members in the Facebook group, so that's reasonable, up from 650 in the last 6 months. As a Queensland branch, we have 125 members with about 57 that need to renew, essentially. And we've got the 2 life members that I guess don't really get mentioned that much, Harold and Glenn. We also have a bunch of businesses that pay the business membership. That's EV Charging Solutions, MTech, SmartGen, eMotion Concepts, Oz DIY Electric Vehicles, DC Electrical, Betts Boats Electrics, Go2 Electrical, and Ace Electric Vehicles. A lot of electrical. So thank you for your sponsorship of those businesses. Moving on to the Brisbane EV infrastructure. So we are quite privileged, if you have a modern EV, to have a lot of DC fast charging available in a very small period, in a very small radius. And in the last couple of months, it's only about a month old, I think. They've opened up 2 more chargers, one at Gardens Point QUT and one at Kelvin Grove QUT, and they're actually both free at the moment. So a few people will be using those, I believe. Here's me on the same night. I didn't charge on the same charger too much. So, okay, this is not the greatest exposure, but for those of you that aren't aware about where the chargers are, we have 350s on the ChargeFox, 350s, 2 350s and a 50 kilowatt charger on top of Toombul Shopping Centre. Just down the road here, we have the Hamilton, that's the Queensland government funded Quesh site. That is also the money transaction side of that goes through ChargeFox, so you'll see that. That's the Tesla supercharger. They're the 2 Kelvin Grove QUT 50 kilowatts. There's the Garden Point one, and there's the University of Queensland St Lucia campus 50 kilowatt, but that's got an issue at the moment. So for where we're at with DC, or where we're at with electric vehicles and at the adoption point, we actually have a lot of infrastructure, and I'd just like to mention it because the adoption of electric vehicles has been aligned to people's awareness about how much charging infrastructure is available. Of course, people can charge at home and on AC chargers and all that sort of stuff, but you know, it's very convenient to charge on DC fast chargers. So, and more broadly in Queensland, the Queensland government put in the Queensland Electric Superhighway, QESH, about 2018. So they finally tendered out for the phase 2, and that's going to fill in all the different points on that map. So they're the existing ones. So wherever you see a little bit of a gap, they're putting in another 50 kilowatt charger in between those. Now, the anticipated sites, they haven't actually announced where the sites are, but there's anticipated sites at Port Douglas, Innisfail, Ingham, Ayr, Proserpine, Gladstone, Gingin, Gunalda, Gympie, Forest Glen and Ipswich. Now, during the week, hit the next one for me. Is the audio okay on the stream? Can I just double check? I've got everyone muted. Can someone just type in the chat? Oh, okay. Maybe I don't have everyone muted. Okay. This is at Gympie. So this is, as far as I'm aware, the first one of phase 2 that's popped up. So this is just a random photo that someone's taken of the Gympie phase 2 charger. So if you go on to the next one, I'll just give you an idea where it is. So this is the Civic Centre, but you have to enter in here and then come up this road here, up this road, I think it's McLeod, what have I written, McLeod Street, and then come back in and the charger's over here. So that actually extends the range now a little bit even further, because you can stop at Karoi if you need to, you can stop at Gympie, and then, yeah, then you're starting to head pretty far up the Queensland coast there. Right, so that's the infrastructure stuff. Is there any questions about that while we're on that topic? What's that, sorry? Well, that one, the Gympie one, is actually, yeah, no, all the new ones are not on PlugShare, but the Gympie one is on PlugShare because it's been spotted, and you can it's like a community app, I think, where you can just go in and add, and someone does sit above, it's someone's job to vet all what's done there, yeah.
They also asked how many sites have multiple charges?
How many sites have multiple charges? Hamilton, the end. Okay. I mean, they've done this with anticipation that they will encourage EV uptake. I think it's fantastic that I can drive to Cairns right now using that network. If it wasn't for the Queensland government, where would we be able to get to? Maybe just Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, you know. So I think it's a good initiative anyway. And to be honest, once they fill in all the gaps will only be 100 kilometres, and to some EV owners that sounds like a lot, but it's kind of maximum maybe 100, so 80 and 60 kilometres at a time. And there are other charging companies that are putting in, maybe like EV are putting in 350s as well up at Townsville. That one's gone in. Maybe I haven't put that on the charging infrastructure. I think it was a note, but I didn't actually mention it. So there is another 350 kilowatt charger that's gone in at Townsville. So
it's open?
It's open, yes. So, what's that? The Puma petrol station. Yep. And we've had a few announcements from EV aligning to petrol station sites, and I've got no problem with that. You know, some people raise concerns that, oh, you know, well, maybe we shouldn't be putting them at the petrol site, but you know, they've already got air and water and bins, and you can clean your windscreens and car washes and food and drink, you know what I mean? So that seems pretty obvious to me to put them where there's already other infrastructure. Okay, latest availability. So it does actually take quite a long time to research all this, okay? So I do my best to keep it accurate. If there's mistakes, then feel free to let me know and I'll maybe correct them. But these are the EVs that are currently available now. Renault Zoe is available. I don't know if anyone's buying it. The ones I've seen online are only 2017. I haven't seen any other ones online. I did go to the Renault dealership once, and they said there were a bunch of Renault Zoes on a boat, and the boat, oil went everywhere on a boat or something, so they just lost the whole lot. So I don't know, maybe that Renault Zoe's a bit unavailable in Australia. The Hyundai Ioniq is the 38 kilowatt hour, Nissan Leaf, Hyundai Kona, BMW i3, Tesla Model 3, comes in a few different variants, Jaguar I-Pace, Mercedes-Benz EQC, I spelled that wrong. And that came out in the beginning of the year, and I saw one at Toombul on Monday night, and it was quite nice. It has I think it's 80 something. Yeah, it's 80 something, but I had it on my previous, oh God. Yeah, I knew someone was gonna ask me a question. I've got, the ones that are coming, I've got all the stats for, but the ones that are here, I just put it up, the prices. But I think it's 80, mid 80s, but the consumption is high. It uses around about 20 kilowatt hours per 100. So the range is like high 300s to 400. So the gentleman who I met, his name was Neil. I'm going to try and see if Neil can maybe bring in his car, have a bit of a look at it. I don't think there's that many around. They're an expensive item, so yeah, we'll see about that. Model S, Model X.
There's a question on...
Go for it.
Is there going to be an affordable EV for younger people?
Yes. Not yet. Okay. Is there going to be an affordable EV for younger people? The answer is yes, but not yet. So, I mean, we're early adopters. We're actually on the curve of things. We're actually at the innovator phase, which is even before the early adopters. So, before it's like in the 1 percentile of the early, we're very, very early. So, in the next 10 years, you'll see exponential growth, in my opinion, and the VWs, the Audis, they're not going to make diesel and petrol cars anymore. You're only going to be able to buy electric with little other choice. And at a certain point, the price will match between an electric option and a petrol option, and you'll have no reason to buy a petrol or a diesel car when you meet price parity. You don't even have to be at price parity, because you're saving on maintenance, you're saving on fuel, there's a range of other options, you know. So obviously it's cleaner and healthier and stuff. What was that, sorry?
5-year cost, total cost of ownership is about 30 grand
less. The cost saving is obviously dependent on how many kilometres you can rack up. The higher your kilometre per year, the the quicker your payback period for shelling out for an expensive thing. But it's the same as solar. You know, you spend 10 grand on solar, you have a 2 grand bill, it takes you 5 years to pay off, and then you reap the benefit after that. So if you're a high kilometre driver, that cost is gone pretty quickly, within 5 years, easily. All right, let's get on to the new EVs that are coming out. Three people in the waiting room. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Back. Okay. Is the stream going okay?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, the MG-ZS EV, imminent to the market. Okay, imminent. I would expect an announcement in the next 2 months. I've seen the first edition price $46,990. I just put 48 on there in case the non-first editions come out and they're 48. I just guessed that price. They have a 44.5 kilowatt hour usable battery, 262 kilometres, 17 kilowatt hours per 100, which is a little bit higher than, say, the Hyundais. They can charge up to 80 kilowatts in speed, which is a lot faster than, say, the Ioniq, which this would probably be priced against. To fill up from 10% to 80%, that's 183 kilometres and it'll take you 36 minutes. So for each EV that comes up that I had the information for, I'll put all them type of stats on. So next up, Audi Mini Cooper SE. Mini Cooper S, electric. To the market, imminent. Price, 60 grand. I don't like to be put a negative slant on things, but that is a large price premium for essentially what you can compare on the market. So I'd say Mini drivers are going to be, current Mini drivers that want to convert to electric might be the main stable of that group. Smallish battery at under 30, estimated, I was probably a bit kind with 200 estimated kilometre range, we'll see. And that's at 14 kilowatt hours per 100, 49 kilowatt max charging, not really as comparable to some of the speeds that we see on more expensive EVs, but you're putting 126 kilometre range in 30 minutes. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you're on a 350 or a 50 on that one because it only has a it's limited to 49 kilowatt speed. Audi e-tron, imminent. So Les told me that he's seen some of these charging on his chargers. So I'll go through each of them. There's two different shapes and there's 3 different models. So I did this breakdown because these were imminent in case anyone was interested. So we have a 50 Quattro, 55 Quattro and a first edition. As far as I can tell, the first edition actually just has chrome delete and I don't know how much other stuff, but essentially it's that car but without the shiny bits. Large battery, 86.5 usable, that's pretty healthy. 400 kilometre range, 21 kilowatt hours per 100, that's pretty thirsty. But with the thirstiness comes the 155 kilowatt speed to balance out the thirstiness because you can drive, charge, and you can get where you're going as fast as, faster than a lot of other EVs. You can put in 280 kilometres in 26 minutes. So I'd say that's pretty damn good. Half an hour stop and then you're able to go 200 kilometres more than probably where the next charger is, only 100 kilometres away. So you don't have to stop every charger. This is just the different shape and the Sportsback gets a bit more of a price premium. So 160, 170, 182,000. It's, yeah, big boys toys. Same stats, nothing else. And that was straight off the Audi website, so that's why I had the price there, just so you could see I wasn't making it up. Porsche Taycan, we're talking of big boys toys. There are 3 models of the Porsche Taycan coming out, 4S Turbo, Turbo S, 2 different battery sizes, 71, 83, and you'll get about 400 kilometres range, just under 20 kilometres per 100, but a whopping 270 kilowatt max charging speed. All right, that's because it runs an 800 volt battery, so the speed that it can run is just phenomenal. The next few, I don't have all the stats for, but I've seen enough information to say that they're coming to market in the next bit. So this is early 2021. We have the Volvo XC40 electric. That it does have a petrol diesel variant. They're actually quite a nice looking car. 75 kilowatt hour battery, 400 kilometre estimated range. Every time I try and guess the price, I guess too low. So they like whacking on a few 10 grand extra. So I think sometimes it's because they only ever quote the before on-road cost price. So I added a bit. The Polestar 2, another nice looking thing. The parent company Volvo owns this brand too, so not a bad parent company if you really ask me. They're pushing for electric. 72.5 kilowatt hour, 400 estimated range. 400 estimated range, it seems to be the standard because just about every car I mention is 400 kilometres range. So, right, this is the EVA brand that's in EV Australia, the E3. We have an estimated price of 65,000 plus on-road costs. It's going to have a 52.5 kilowatt hour battery, 400 kilometre estimated range. If you want more details, there's plenty of info online at ev-a.com.au, and Peter, General Manager for that company, is here as well. You can speak to him if you're interested in the look of that. I think it looks quite neat, actually. And the company is also bringing out something similar to like a Mercedes Sprinter. It's the EC11, and that's going to be 94,000 plus on-road costs. It's 80 kilowatt hour. Now, I wanted to ask Peter because the range was with up to like a 2 grand payload. I think it had a lot of kilos in the back in your brochure. Do you know the range completely empty?
Completely empty is about 300.
300, yeah. So I mean,
Totally loaded with 1.8 tonne, it's about the 220 mark.
220 fully loaded with 1.8 tonne, right? So, I mean, sounds good to me. And this model was able to be configured for passengers, for couriering. So this is a versatile type of vehicle that's coming to market. Are these both 2021? Is that what you're hoping for? Mid 2021?
Here in late August, and that's where we'll start the trials.
Yeah.
Evaluation, and that's where we're going to try and use it.
So the ADR testing is happening.
That's basically complete. You've got the SUTI, which is the final test. That's where they physically inspected. That's going to occur in September. Once that's done, it's been registered, and we're planning on using it for the Eco Tour.
Yes.
If it happens.
For the live stream that didn't hear that, they're finalising the process and hoping to have one of those on the Eco Tour that is down in Victoria for the EV, that would have been part of the EV Expo.
Someone's asking how fast do they charge?
Yeah. How fast can they charge? Put you on the spot.
Okay, it's got 22 kilowatts in the AC.
Yep, 22 kilowatt AC.
And it's either, I've still got to get clarification, it's either 60 kilowatts, but
Okay.
it seems to have 600 watts and you recalculate it out, maybe 120. So I'm trying to find what a rechargeable at.
Yep.
I'm trying to get that confirmed, but once it's here,
Yeah.
plug it in and see what it
Yeah. Look, if you're on the Facebook group, then I'll make sure there's information posted about that anyway as soon as Peter provides it to me. So keep an eye on those ones. My Tesla friends have said the Model Y is expected sometime in 2021, so I'll take that as gospel. I think it was due at the end of this year initially, but with everything that's going on, let's say it's next year. And lastly, for the time being, the BMW iX3. So the i3 with an X in the middle. SUV, sometime 2021. Okay, and that pretty much gives a bit of a wrap up of the EVs that are coming to market in the short to mid-term. If every announcement I wrote on there, I mean, I'll be here bloody all night because there's a lot. But from when I started researching, even like 6 months ago, and you see all the concept cars that are coming out, and and they get redefined and then pushed out to a production model. There are hundreds and hundreds. Like, I haven't covered all the ID3s and the ID Cros and Buzz and all that type of stuff. So once I get some more, I'd really rather only just report more firm information rather than say, well, it's going to be a 2021 and then it actually is 2023. So I'll keep updating this each time we have one of these meetings. So